Most people don't quit keto because it doesn't work. They quit because their body isn't supported through the transition. If you ever tried to start and felt worse instead of better, this video is for you. And if you're brand new, I'm glad you're here. If we haven't met, I'm Dr. Rose. I'm a physical therapist and a primal health coach. I help people understand how to work with their metabolism through low-carb living. This video is here to guide you as you begin a ketogenic lifestyle in a way that supports your body and sets you up for long-term success. But before you jump into keto, I want you to pause for just a moment, not to slow you down, but to help you start strong. I want you to know what this series will cover so you understand where we're going and why each piece matters. In this video series, we're going to talk about what keto actually is, where you fit on the low carb spectrum, how to think about macros without pressure. We'll discuss the difference between supportive and problematic fats. We'll also discuss why your environment matters more than willpower, why electrolytes matter early on, when to talk to your doctor, and what to expect as your body adapts. That's it. No explanations yet, just orientation. Now, most people struggle with keto not because it's hard, but because they were never given the right information at the very beginning. They jump in, push too hard, and when it doesn't feel good, they assume something is wrong with them. That's not failure, that's missing the foundation. Most people don't stop because keto doesn't work. They stop because their body isn't supported through the metabolic transition. That often shows up as burnout from doing too much, too fast, or extremes that create stress instead of stability. These aren't personal flaws, they're physiological signs. So this is my favorite part, what's happening inside the body. When the body feels pressured, it protects. And when it feels supported, it adapts. This is why so many people experience food noise, constant thoughts about food, cravings, or feeling unsettled between meals. That's not a lack of willpower. It's often a sign of blood sugar instability. And when the body begins receiving consistent supportive signals, that noise often quiets, sometimes very quickly. That's the beginning of metabolic stability. Now, when you're just starting, it's easy to think you need to change everything all at once. But real progress comes from focusing on a few foundational pieces and letting the rest unfold naturally. In the beginning, what matters most is creating a sense of safety for your body. That means eating enough food, prioritizing protein, choosing whole foods that are nourishing foods, and reducing the constant swings in blood sugar that keeps your system on edge. Now, this is especially important if you lived with insulin resistance, fatty liver disease, or blood sugar instability, but also if you spent years under eating, under fueling protein, or overtraining. All of these increase stress hormones like cortisol, which can make it harder for your body to feel safe enough to heal. And when the body perceives stress, whether it's from restriction, overexertion, or chronic metabolic strain, it holds on tighter. And again, that's not failure, that's protection. A great example of this is intermittent fasting. Many people think they need to force fasting right away, pushing through the hunger or skipping meals before their body is ready. But for most people, fasting works best when it evolves naturally. If you're doing keto right, it will. As your metabolism becomes more flexible, hunger often softens. You may notice that you're not as hungry in the morning or that you can go longer between meals without effort. That's not discipline, that's adaptation. So when fasting happens organically, it's a sign your body feels safe enough to access stored energy, which is your fat. And that's the goal. Early on, simplicity matters more than intensity. Whole foods, consistent meals, less stress around food. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to create the right conditions and let your body do what it was designed to do. So let's talk about why all this matters. When you understand why your body responds the way it does, you stop fighting it. And when that happens, things begin to feel easier, more sustainable, and more empowering. You don't need to overhaul your life or force your body into submission. So when your body gets the right information, change often begins sooner than you expect. In your energy, in your hunger, and your clarity. You're starting with understanding, and that makes all the difference. I want you to simply, for right now, notice and take a moment to reflect on why you're here. What made you want to start? What do you hope feels different in your body or your life? What would better actually look like for you? Awareness creates direction. Direction creates momentum. If you'd like extra support, I've created a companion ebook that walks you through this step by step, from food choices to mindsets to what to expect along the way. And if you're not ready for that, I'll also be sharing free resources as we go. You get to choose what feels right for you. And if you're wondering whether real change is possible, I want you to know this. I've seen people transform their health, their confidence, and their lives when they finally had the right information and the right support. You don't have to do this alone. In the next video, we'll talk about what actually matters when you're getting started and why food quality matters more than perfection. This is Dr. Rose. I'm glad you're here. I'll see you in the next video.